Hello, YouTube. This is Ben Kessel. Um, I believe this is my fourth video, uh, and for YouTube. And I shaved my beard. So today I'm going to be discussing a subject that have always found uh, very enjoyable, fun. Don't have as much time for this kind of stuff as much as I used to, and I don't really do this as much as I used to, but it's still something that I might occasionally do. But and I still will be involved in quite a bit, even maybe say with music composition in the future. And this subject has to do with video games. But for this video, I want to talk about what it is that I personally look for in video games, and also what are my favorite video games and why are they my favorite games? So the first thing I want to mention is that um, it's hard to um, it's just hard to get away a little bit from Lord of the Rings sometimes. I understand. A lot of video games have a fair number have a lot in common with Lord of the Rings. So we I'm fine with that because there are some concepts that I never get tired of. But I like to look for I like novel, certainly new, original kinds of concepts, just as much as the next person. I really do like those new ideas that I think have a lot of uh, that just naturally evoke a lot of curiosity in me. Instantly, when I was younger, it was easier to I preferred just going to a video game store, buying a few games, and they were affordable. They were moderately priced for PC back '90s and stuff. And I just remember, trying to figure out what the game was going to be like a little bit before I bought it. I sometimes didn't know entirely what it was going to be like, and so I just remember that time, and I didn't really always read all the magazines, that sort of thing, but um, but yeah, I don't know, I there are some concepts I just find very interesting. They look very appealing in games, um, but some of these I'll explain a bit more in this video. Certainly, as it goes without saying, I've already mentioned this before in a previous video. I'm very, very big on landscapes, beautiful landscapes, inspiring landscapes, scenery. And there's a lot of things still that haven't been done yet that I think um, it's throughout this entire video, you're gonna hear a train of thought of, yes, I understand the programmers themselves. They're not. There's um, there's just many companies, many the way they're structured, it seems to stifle a lot of creativity. Even amongst programmers themselves, and programmers tell me they have a bunch of ideas that they're trying to get to that they have a hard time getting to. Like, well, for both movies and video games, if an idea is of merit, then it's ideas of merit, and they should take any ideas that have real merit more seriously, in my opinion. But you're gonna keep hearing that train of thought as I go. Um, so I like a good mix of puzzles, different kinds of scenery, obstacles and riddles and humor from different characters, quests, different kinds of quests, some bigger than others. Certainly, character interaction development. A little bit of action's fine. A little bit of a little bit of intensity there. Secret areas are something that is a big deal for me. I love the trying to find secret places, or if I find some place it's really hard to find, or something like that, or I find some secret place. It's really exciting. For me it's a big thing that I look for, as well as an atmosphere of mystery. Some mysteries you want to solve because they just are more interesting. Other mysteries, so it has to do with how enjoyable the game is. Uh, or, why would you want to play a game where you're just finding things? Yeah, so that's just okay. So certainly suspenseful, exciting kinds of moments in the game. That always it makes it much more enjoyable to play. And then contrasting with some more peaceful times, you don't want to always be stressed out in a game. And then certainly just the idea of well thought out world, some ideas that go back a ways, legends and things. A game should not be too hard and also not too easy. It should be somewhere in the middle. No matter what, how skilled the game player is, I think most games should be like that, moderate difficulty. I'm also really not as fond of with the open world ideas of the Elder Scrolls games. That was a really interesting idea. I just think that they really they ran out of ideas, so they just kept doing the same thing over and over again. It's hard to have that size of a world and have the quality graphics you have. Why would you want to explore? If the 100th cave I explore is practically the same kind of cave as the 200th cave that I explore, so what? Why would I want to do that if it's all just the same or similar? Just you know. And so that's the problem with the Elder Scrolls games, at least in the past. I've only seen Skyrim. It's probably gonna have a lot of similarities there from what I've seen. So not too. I don't like games that have too much emphasis on anything lowbrow, of course. And then certainly more emphasis on things that are more refined, obviously. And then I'm also very tired. Depending on how these creatures are treated, I'm very, very tired of overall certain things like endless numbers of zombies and skeletons and orcs and minions and whatever. That's just, it just, well, it depends. There's just some creatures that are overused that are just, if I use them, it's just nothing. Like, oh, okay, yeah, he's just a minion. It's just another guy hacked down. It's not really imaginative. And I'm also a little tired of the humans, elves, dwarves thing. It's Lord of the Rings. So I would like to see more Pegasi, more griffins, different kinds of dragons, different personalities. Sure. Hydra, centaurs, satyrs, or fawns, or whatever I can call them, hags, and giants. I mean, these kinds of creatures you don't see as often. I would really like to see more often in games. First person's fine so long as I don't feel like I'm, in a first person shooter game necessarily, or it's only about killing. Third person review's fine, so long as the camera doesn't do crazy things on you. Sorry, Neverwinter Nights, calling you out there a little bit, but it's a good game. And point and click adventure games, they're really very often kind of linear, or they're just too hard to finish without cheating. So, point point and click games in particular need to be more playable. So those are some of my critiques on games I've played and things. And I really haven't played very many games compared to a lot of other folks, of course. It's all relative, but I really haven't. Yeah, I mean, with the games that there are certain games that I really am fond of, and I'm gonna mention what they are in here in a bit. But also, I enjoy good design games, especially sometimes strategy games. But those kinds of games tend to take a back seat to a really good fantasy game. So here's some of my favorite games. Um, a few of these, one of these. Well, if you again, I really, if you have any questions about any of these games, I'll let you know more about them. It's okay if you don't know what they are. Some of these guys. Um, a few games go back a little ways. Many of these games, I think you'll recognize though. So the first, so going kind of more or less chronologically, my favorite video games are Archon, Loom, Warlords, Legend of Kyrandia, Lords of the Realm, Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate 2, Throne of Ball, Wheel of Time, Alice the Madness Returns, that's American McGee's Alice, Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. I played one of those games. Fable, I'm not. That's in the lower area that I like. I only like the Demon Caves, the kind of the graphics and colors they used. Most everything else was kind of a bit cheesy, but the Demon Caves was That was an interesting concept. And Dragon Age Origins was not too bad. I like the cutscenes. That's always fun. So this is just a shorter video. I'm probably not going to have as many videos that are on video games, but I think it's important to mention these things. Many video game companies, to a certain extent, programmers, I still think many of them, I would say I would place the blame squarely on management executives. Not so much programmers. I think everybody loves a good puzzle game. What I look for in games, in the future, if I ever, to the extent that I have time for them, but it's just that I like a combination of something intellectually challenging, imaginative, and something with some excitement to it, some action. But I don't like too much violence, and I don't necessarily. A puzzle game on its own is fun, but just have to be in the mood for it. But most games just don't. They're not really that great, in my opinion. And there are some of these games I've just mentioned in particular that really are just amazing, just amazing. They're just amazing. And but yeah, video games still have a ways to go. I think not necessarily in terms of their graphics, the quality of the graphics, but what how enjoyable they are. I think for mainstream, well, I would say, well, we'll just say the more refined sorts of folks out there that aren't necessarily gamers. I don't know if you want to use that word. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and have a good